Yep, I can see that. It was Gene Hickerson they were waiting for. And let's get ready to rumble. Ooh, let's see. Can these order? Oh no. Oh. That was a clean start till they got to those steps. Alrighty. Let's get crack-a-lacking here. Oh no. All right. So it looks like Chuck Berg got out to the lead. Chris Vanir, woohoo, flying down the straightaway. Marlo Bright, Don Elliott. Ooh, Chuck Berg having a rough first lap. So it's going to be Chris Vanir, Marlo Bright, Don Elliott, Elver Lopez, Mark Henry, Michael DeLay, Gene Hickerson, Ryan LaCoya, Jader Lopez, Chuck Berg from 1st to 10th, Luis Perez, Williamson, Padishaw, Crummings, and Brad Bowman. All right, so let's get back to the action. Don Elliott in that Agama N1 currently in second. He has Marlo Bright right behind him as he took that position from Marlo. Across the line they go. There's Marlo. Sorry, Marlo is in front. I thought that was Don Elliott. Marlo's got his race paint on. All right, so there's Don Elliott in third. I do apologize as he makes his way down the step. Right behind him, Ever Lobos and Mark Henry at top 5. Jader the Gator, not too far back either. And that second pack of cars coming through. No, let's focus on Chris Vanir, please. Let's see our leader for a few minutes. So Vanir pulling out to let's see, a 6.6 second lead over Don Elliott. So these guys, Vanir's already coming up to lap James Williamson, it looks like. So Vanir says, we haven't had no power in our Airbnb, but that hasn't stopped us from racing all weekend long. As he makes his way up and over that triple, around that 180, he goes and onto the pinwheel as he makes his way onto the straightaway. Let's see what type of lap time it is for Vanir. Slightly longer one, 29.1 for him this time. And he has a 6.8 second lead up on Don Elliott. So it's Vanir from Elliott, Lobos, Mark Henry. All right, let's drop back and find that battle between second and third, says Danny. As we are now on tap with Ever Lobos, who's now into third. And there's Don Elliott just in front of him in that Agama. And right behind him is Mark Henry and Jader Lopez and Marlo Bright. So it is not over until it's over. Chris Vanir, though, stretching that lead out ever so slightly to 7.5 seconds. Don Elliott can't let Vanir get too far in front of him. And there you see chasing Ever is Mark Henry and Jader Lopez. Jader now currently in 5th. Behind him, Marlo Bright. Don Elliott's got a bunch of company coming his way. These guys, and all these guys are fast 40-plus drivers, so there are no slow pokes out here. You can see the track getting rough. I love that they left it. They didn't fix anything. It's just right. All right, so Don Elliott and Agama N1. Can he put his head on? Chris Vanir in a myriad of traffic. Ooh, Jader, and it looks like Marlo getting it wrong. Ever currently in third. All right, so Jader is on the move. Jader, the Gator Lopez. He is currently chasing down. Oh, he just smacked it. So, casing that jump, it's going to be Vanir, Elliott, Ever in third. Marlo now to 4th. Jader in 5th. Mark Henry right behind them. So we have a good battle brewing between, actually from 2nd all the way to 6th. Chuck Berg on the move, up to 7th. But he's 3.8 seconds back of his no-pro teammate, Mark Henry. That's all right. All right, so we have a battle between Ever Lobos and Don Elliott. Don Elliott getting it wrong. Lobos going to get by. Nope, Lobos is battling with Jader Lopez. Now, Elliott's just a bit in front, if I'm not mistaken. There's Elliott. Elliott is actually in front of these two cars. So this is Ever and Jader. Jader is making some big moves. Yep, Ever from Guatemala, where Danny's from. Danny's favorite Guatemalan, except at Wicked Weekend. All right, so Jader and Ever are battling it out. Don Elliott's loving it, but Chris Vanir is loving it the most because Chris Vanir has an 11-second lap lead, and there goes Jader for the lead, and he gives it back to him, and he's going to lose some positions there as well. So there's Tony Padishaw, who's currently in 13th. Yep, he's in lap traffic. Bad start for him. Chuck Berg still back there in 7th. So Marlo now up to 4th. Jader dropping all the way down to 5th. 2.9 seconds off Marlo. There's Marlo right there. There's Ever. That's going to allow Marlo by. Can Marlo put his head down and chase down Don Elliott? Marlo, that white wheel, white wing, blue and red S-Works. Ever flamed out, says Danny. So we'll see Ever having an error, having a flame out. If that's true, he will be probably out of this race. 5 minutes and 25 seconds down. 24:30 to go. Not the world's strongest man, JW. That's what I said. That's funny. All right, so these are back markers right here that Marlo's trying to get through. Oh, whew. Oh. Yeah, he's getting pinballed out there by lap traffic. And that's working for Jader because Jader's now in 4th and trying to chase him down. There's Jader trying to get around Tony Pataschow. I bet you they've been doing that for a long time because they are both racers from Florida. Jader coming on the straightaway. That was a 29.4 for Jader that by. Chuck Berg up to 5th. Gene Hickerson in 6th. So now we have a race on our hands. Chuck Berg 1.6 back of Jader. Chris Vanir now 12.3 up on 2nd place Don Elliott. Marlo 8.6 seconds back. So 1st and 2nd kind of checked out a little bit. A big gap between both of them. Jader trying to put his head down. 23:30 left to go. 6.5 Don. 23.5 to go. Somebody in for pits early. Don Elliott in for 6.5. Don Elliott in the pits at 6.5. No more pits coming in. We see somebody getting ready there. Looks like Vanir will be coming in for pits. Coming in for fuel as well. I missed it, but that's 2 turtles right there. Let's get back forward. Chuck Berg should be in 2nd. Let's see when he comes by. Yes, he is. Chris Vanir, Chuck Berg. Chuck Berg putting his head on after starting on pole and having to work his way back up. We know he could do 10 minutes, 7 minutes in. We were about to see some pits coming in here at the 7:30 mark. This is Chris Vanir from Chuck Berg, Don Elliott, Marlo Bright, Jader Lopez, Gene Hickerson, Curtis Cummings, Mark Henry, Brad Bowman, Michael DeLay, Ryan LaCoyer, Ever Lobos back on track, Tony Pataschow, Luis Perez, and James Williamson looks to be out early. We are watching the Chuck, the 10-minute man. Ooh. Jader gets by. No, Don Elliott gets by. Him and Jader have very similar colors. So Jader now should be 2nd. But I think that Jader has to come into pit now. Let's see. And then Don Elliott already came into pit. Don Elliott's going to be a pit stop Don. So there's, oh no, Jader staying out. All right, so Chuck Berg now chasing down Don Elliott. Jader now up to 4th. He's 10 seconds back of Chuck Berg. Mistake by Chuck and allow Don Elliott by. Don Elliott's already been in for fuel. He came in at 6:30. Chuck is doing 10 minutes. That was Tony Pataschow. So Chris Vanir is kind of checked out right now. He's got a 16.1 second lead. Man, that's what Vanir just got out to that lead, and he hasn't looked back so far. We have 21 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in this race. Let's stay on Chuck Berg if we can, Danny, because I want to see if he's doing 10-minute pits, and I believe he is. So he's done it every race we've been at. That's going to be his trump card because... All right, I'm going to send it over to Lance real quick. Be right back.
Race number 17. Race 17, you're coming up next. Race 17 up next. A lot of racing left to go, guys. We're just now getting started in our A mains. All of our Nitro A mains are 30-minute finals. A lot of racing left to go. Chris Vanir right now with a 17-second lead here up on Chuck Berg. Berg now 0.2 of a second up on Donald Elliott. Marlo Bright working at number 4. Lopez down to the 5. Gene Hickerson in the 6th.
All right, everybody back. We are back. Chris Vanir out front. Chuck Berg not coming in this time. Let's find, there's Chuck Berg as he comes by. 10-minute Chuck. As he comes back, he's got in front of Don Elliott. Don Elliott coming in short. He's got to come in at 6.5. But not Chuck Berg. That's his trump card. That's Chuck Berg's trump card, that 10-minute pit stop. Chris Vanir, though, is out to a 15-second lead. So Chuck needs to get out in front. Let's see, Chuck coming in this time. And he does. Ooh, let's see his pit stop. Oh, man. What an excellent pit stop. Fills him up. Michael Rinke takes a little extra time to fill him up. And there we go. Chuck Berg, 10 minutes. So now we'll see him back in around the 20-minute mark. Don Elliott's going to have to come in at 13. Vanir isn't worried about none of that, though, but his lead down to 6.6 seconds. It'll be more than that once they cycle out. There's Chuck Berg. Maybe we'll find our leader here in a second. No, Don Elliott is now into second. Let's see what the gap is between Elliott and Chuck. There's Chuck. They are separated by 6.6 seconds. So Chuck, great pit stop. Unfortunate start for him. And let's follow our leader. There's Vanir making his way up over that tilted fadeaway double. Vanir took that lead from Chuck Berg on that first corner or two and has not looked back. His car looks great. Making up for not having electricity at the Airbnb as he makes his way through the pinwheel turn and down the straightaway he goes across there. It's a 26.9, fastest lap of the race so far by Chris Vanir on lap number 24. Wow, that was an impressive line as he just, that was good. Chris Vanir is on it, representing Georgia and that Associated. Makes his way up through. Wow, Chris Vanir has got an awesome line through that valley. He is looking dialed. Vanir coming by now. It's going to be Vanir still out front, absolutely flying, a 16.1 second lead up on Don Elliott, followed by Chuck Berg. Marlo Bright up to that 4th spot. Jader Lopez in 5th. Gene Hickerson, Curtis Crummins, Mark Henry, Ever Lobos, Michael DeLay, Brad Bowman, Ryan LaCoya, Luis Perez, Tony Patterson, James Williamson back on the track. But just about 13 laps off the leader. Chris Vanir's Associated is looking great at the moment. And wow, he is able to power through the steps so fast. His car just lands like perfectly, and he is all right. Let's get back on board with Chuck Berg, who is making his way. Chuck Berg now 20 seconds back. But Chuck will have to do one less pit stop than these guys. Let's see if it helps him out. He needs clean laps. He had a very bad start. But we've seen Chuck Berg come back from adversity many times at the races here in the Southeast. That's a 27-1. So Chuck picking up the pace. He got that traffic in front of him. Once he gets by them, he has a little bit of clean space. Ooh, thank you. Lap traffic letting the second place car of Chuck by. Now he has some clean air. He has those 3 cars in front of him. Chuck looking dialed as well. 16:20 left to go. We should be seeing our second pit stops coming up. Don Elliott has to come in early. He should already have come in or coming in this lap. Okay, so he didn't stop, so he's staying out for a longer stint this time around. What's up, Racecraft USA? How are you? Hope you're doing well, Chase. Flamingo time in the cold. Saw a bunch of flamingos in Spain, by the way, on our way to the airport. But they were white. They hadn't turned pink yet. Chris Vanir, Chuck Berg, Don Elliott, Jader Lopez, Marlo Bright, your top 5. Curtis Crummins making some moves up to 6. Gene Hickerson, who had a late start in 7th. But nobody got nothing for Chris Vanir. He's got a 14.6 second lead up on Chuck Berg. But Chuck Berg is out there clicking off 20 consecutive 27-second laps, trying to chase down Chris Vanir, and it is working. That's going to be a long lap for Chuck Berg as he comes by now. That's a 28.7. That's a long lap. Still faster than Chris Vanir that time by. Let's see what the lead is going to be. Chris Vanir should be coming in for fuel, I assume, if he's doing a 7:30 pit stop. And let's see. Nope, still out there. A 30.3 though. And Chuck Berg is just slowly chipping away at that lead. I think that was Joshua Cox pitting and Nelson pitting for Jader, who's in fourth. Jader 7 seconds back of Don Elliott, who's in third. And Don is 7 seconds back of Chuck Berg. Chuck having a long lap. All right, so hey, Patrick, our river reporter, says he has some news about Chuck. Let's head it over to him.
Hey guys, I'm down here in pit lane, and I was standing right behind Michael Rinke watching Chuck, and unfortunately he got tangled up with lap traffic, and the marshal just grabbed him by the side, and he has flamed out. Rinke is fueling him as we speak and about to get him restarted, so unfortunate there for Chuck Berg. About to get fired up, waiting on it, and they're trying to get him, but Chuck Berg gonna have some work to do. Back to you, Keenan.
All right, thank you, Patrick. Unfortunate for Chuck Berg, just having a marshal flame him out. Chris Vanir likes it, as it looks like he's coming for his pit stop. A 34.3. If that was a pit stop, that was a fast pit stop. So unfortunate for the Iceberg. That allows Don Elliott to go up to second and Jader Lopez to third. Marlo Bright now in fourth. Oh, so sounds like glow plug problems for Chuck Berg. He might be out. Yeah, he's dropping even more and more. Yeah, unfortunate for Chuck Berg. So his day is done. Yep, you see Patrick giving that nope. All right, so Vanir got an 18-second lead, barring and just as I say that, he makes a mistake. All right, so we heard that Gene Hickerson has flamed out as well. So the Gremlins following Gene, but nobody right now. Chris Vanir out there flying, looking great. Let's follow him for a little bit, Danny, because really there's the closest race going on right now I can see is between Mark Henry and Curtis Cummings for fifth. And Curtis, no, let's stay on Vanir for a little bit. We got time. Vanir's driving great. Let's watch him. Vanir looking spicy out there right now. Up there on a Sunday morning drive. It's still morning time. Yes, it is. Yep. Vanir comes by at 27.7. Unfortunate for Chuck. I thought we was going to have an epic battle. He's back on track after 2 minutes and 45 seconds, but a big mountain to climb. Maybe he can get a top 10. We'll see what happens. He does have 12 minutes. But this man took that lead from Berg and never looked back. And in 12 minutes and 7 seconds, if he's still like this, he will be the winner. And I'm sure he'll be pumped about that. All right, so Dan is going to try and find fourth and fifth, Curtis Cummings and Ever Lobos. While he does that, I will put it over to Lance for a second.
Track. Mike DeLay trying to hold on to that number 8 spot. Brett.
All right, so Patrick says he has another report while Danny, Chris Vanir getting it wrong. Oof. Curtis Cummings getting it wrong.
Alrighty, guys. Sorry, I'm chowing down on some pizza. That's why we're having late pit reports. But anyway, I was just talking to Josh Cox and Nelson Garcia, pit guys for Jader Lopez, currently in that number 3 spot. Jader's not saying much. Normally, he's the most talkative person in the world, but on the headset, he's all quiet. He's just running his green reflex, and he basically said, "Shut up, let me drive." So that's what we're going to do. He's currently P3, so we'll see what the Cuban Bandit can do, the one Jader Lopez.
All righty, thank you, Patrick. The Cuban Bandit, as he calls him, or Jader the Gator. Chris Vanir, 30 seconds up on Jader Lopez, though. So Jader needs some help from the RC gods if he wants to take a win. And there is Vanir. And right behind him is Chuck Berg, actually. And Chuck Berg currently being scored on in 13th. And there's Jader, Danny's favorite racer from Florida, as he makes his way. Jader hasn't raced for a while, so knocking off that little RC rust and having a good run so far. 29.7 that time by. Jader needs a little bit of help from the RC gods if he wants to challenge for that win. We got 10 minutes and 12 seconds left to go. One more pit stop. Ooh, oh man. Ooh, that was bad for Jader. Wasn't his fault, but he got caught up in it. Vanir at 27.5 that time by Jader. This is going to be a slower lap. Yeah, so this looks like, that's right. Jader and Don are battling for position. There's Don and Atagama. And there's Jader right behind it. They're separated by, ooh, look at Jader. Whoa, that was close. If they touch each other, it was just for a millisecond. We have a great battle for second brewing right here. There's Jader and Don Elliott. They got to make some, oh, Jader, I thought he was going to dive to the inside. Jader realized he's got 9 minutes to take this. Maybe just hang back and let Don make a mistake. Don pulling slightly away through the pinwheel turn. And that Agama is on it. And Jader in that HP around that 180 up and through the valley, up into that double step up. Jader taking that. You can see where people are slamming right into that section, slowing them down. Jader going nose high. We got flying Ryan LaCoya right there in front of him, but that is lap traffic. So Jader, oh, I thought that was Don. That is Marlo, who's a lap Don, but in fourth. All right, so Don Elliott coming by. That was a 27.8 for Don, a 27.9. They are separated by 0.6 of a second. And Jader and Don flying through that lap traffic. Don realizing that Jader's right behind him, trying to get, Jader getting on those brakes excessively. Smart, loses some time, but much less time than he would have lost if he'd have crashed. And he's right back behind Don Elliott. Jader able to get up to Don Elliott in this part of the track, it seems like, and the 180s. And Don seems to be a little bit faster in that back right section than Jader. And nobody going through their steps as fast as Chris Vanir. Ooh, Don Elliott getting a little bit squirrely. Jader right behind him. Jader having a look on the inside, but can't get done. And they go through the valley. Can he make the pass over the triple? Jader going to send it into the inside, but can't make the pass. Don Elliott holding him off. These guys are separated by about 3 feet as they come across the line. Jader going wide, goes to the inside, but great driving by Jader. Clean driving, and Jader going on the inside. Can he make it stick? Back on the, oh, he can't. Don Elliott defending that line. We got some great, Don Elliott getting it wrong, gonna let Jader by. Don Elliott making that mistake, and Jader has some clear air in front of him. Jader gonna have to come in for fuel here soon, maybe on this lap. As he comes on, let's follow Jader. We're having an exciting 24 seconds up on Jader coming in. Yes, he is. All on Jader's pit, Nelson and Josh. And I think Don came in. All righty, so Chris Vanir in for his last pit. Jader in for his last pit. That is some great driving by Jader, to be honest. And he makes his way. He can relax a little bit. There's Don Elliott. I'm not sure, but Don might have to come in. So up and over this race they go, and around the corner, down the straightaway. And look at that, Jader looking quite great up into the, nope. Don Elliott, it got in front of, Don Elliott's in front of him from fuel, but Don Elliott has to come back in. There's Don right there. He should be coming in now. So Don Elliott trying to pull away from Jader. He needs to get a clean lap in, and he's going to come in for fuel now. So Will McIver should be doing it. Here's Will. Let's see. Will, and I'm not sure who that is. Good pit for them. And Jader's going to get in front, right in front of him. All right, so back in battling is Jader and and Don Elliott. That's Chris Vanir. Oh, Don having a rough lap. That looks like Chris Vanir getting around Don as well. Chris Vanir is just kind of walking away with this. He's got a 23-second lead over Jader. Don Elliott having a rough lap. He's now 9.5 seconds back of Jader. Nope, there's no battle. Chris Vanir has 50 laps. Jader has 49. Don has 49. Marlo has 48. Let's find Chris Vanir. So, Chuck Berg back on the track. He's in 12th after that flameout. So 25 minutes left, 5 minutes left to go in this race. So Chris Vanir out to a commanding lead. We're following right now. His car looks great as he makes his way down the straightaway. And that was a 28.3 for Chris. He isn't slowing down at all with a 23-second lead. Let's watch his car. His car's so good through those steps. Up and over that double, keeping it low and tight. And Chris is on it. He'll be happy if he can take this win. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Chris Vanir comes by that time, drops a 27.5. He does have the fastest lap of the race. Lap number 51 at 26.8. All right, so we have a pit report on our leader. Let's go to our roving pit reporter, Patrick Rossiter.
Alrighty, guys. So I just had a brief chat with Chris Vanir's pit guy, Lee Setzer. I said, is he quiet on the mic? He's like, nah, he's just chit-chatting, relaxing and everything. He's out there on the J Concept green relapse, and this late in the race, he just turned the fastest lap. So needless to say, Chris is very comfortable out there, commanding out here in the old man Nitro Buggy A main in his team associated J Concept rubber.
All right, thank you. Chris Vanir is very comfortable out there as we're following him, and he is looking locked and dialed as he makes his way around the pinwheel turn. And that was a 27.5 for him. Jader, 17 seconds back. He has chipped away at that lead, but it's too much. I mean, maybe if Jader would have kind of got there in the beginning, but that was a hectic start for everybody. All right, so we are currently following. That was awesome. A four-wheel drift out in the fluff by Vanir. He looks like he's just having fun now. All right, so Vanir making his way through some lap traffic. Let's see, Danny, pick a driver you want to follow, and we'll come back to Chris near the end. Don Elliott, there's no real tight battles going on at the moment. Yeah, but there's no battles going on at the moment. So Don is 12 seconds back of Jader. Our running order, Chris Vanir in first, Jader Lopez in second, Don Elliott third, Marlo Bright fourth, Mark Henry fifth, Curtis Crummings in sixth, Michael DeLay, Luis Perez, Brad Bowman, Chuck Berg, Ever Lobos, Ryan LaCoria, Tony Padashaw, sorry, and James Williams and Gene Hickerson both out. What up, Keen Life? Will Ortiz, no te gusta que yo como yo comentar, tú puedes salir si tú quieres. Está bien. Chris Vanir, Jader Lopez, Don Elliott, Marlo Bright, and Mark Henry. Unless the RC gods do something and interfere, Chris Vanir should run away with this, and he would have run away with it. He's battling Curtis Crummins right now. He's in sixth. So Chris is on the way. He could possibly lap up to third. Well, he has lapped the entire field besides Jader. So Jader just trying to fight not to get lapped right now. Let's get back on Jader. Watch a little bit of Jader if we can, Danny. We got 1 minute and 16 seconds. Or just finish with Vanir. There's Jader. Jader has had a very good second half of this race. His first half wasn't the best. He's able to come on. He unfortunately is not going to have time to challenge Chris Vanir. But a very good drive for Jader in the second half of this race, and some good pits from his pit man. Yep, so we're going to finish with our leader, Vanir. Vanir leading this from the lights and should be the flags. He's going to get, he might get 2 more laps. He can if he does a very fast 27, but highly unlikely. Chris Vanir, car absolutely dialed, looking good. Chris Vanir stuff's always dialed. In 10 scale, he doesn't even race that much 8 scale if I'm not mistaken. He's coming out here to Georgia. Airbnb doesn't have any electricity, and he is dialed. Yep, this is gonna be his last lap. And well done. He might get a victory lap. No, he won't. Well done to Chris Vanir. He takes your win in the 40-plus Nitro Buggy. He led this from lights to flags. Great job. Jader Lopez will come in second. Don Elliott will be third. Marlo Bright will be fourth. Mark Henry fifth. Curtis Crum in sixth. Chuck Berg in seventh. Great recovery for Chuck Berg after that flameout. Luis Perez in eighth. Michael DeLay ninth. Brad Bowman 10th. Jader Lopez coming back to 11th after flameout. Tony Pattershaw 12th. Ryan LaCoyer in third. An unfortunate DNF for James Williamson and Gene Hickerson. What's up, chat? Hope you guys are doing well. And we're going to have a chat with Chris Vanir. All right, I'm here with Chris Vanir. You led that from lights to flags, dude. Dialed.
Thanks, man. Oh, man, that's I think the first big Nitro win I've ever had. So pretty stoked on that. Lee and Weston Wilson get me in the pits. So it was pretty awesome. And car was awesome. Team effort coming up with a good setup. And it was great, man. A lot of fun.
Yeah, what type of changes did you make to your car from qualifying to today? Because your car looked great out there.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't really change a whole lot. You know, we really kind of been on a really good setup for these indoor tracks, and it's been working good. We're on the J-Concept screen relapse, and they've just been really gripping good. So layout's a lot of fun, flow's really good. Really about making the car hit the turns, so maybe a little less caster in the front to get them turn-ins, you know, but it was good.
Awesome. Great job, man. Congratulations on the win. Always good to see you. I guess that makes up for having no electricity all weekend.
Yeah, it does. A little rough, you know, been in the dark all weekend. Our Airbnb got taken out with trees and all kinds of stuff, but no hotels, but we've been roughing it. It's been great.
Good job, man. Congratulations. All right, everybody. Chris Vanir, here's your 40-plus Nitro Buggy Champion here at the Georgia Pizza Classic. We got some Truggy action coming back. I'll see you all back in the studio.